We need to go for 12 wins tonight, though. So you need to pick me a 12-win class. What's 12 wins tonight? What farts? Give it to me. Okay, we're going rogue again. Here we go. 12-win rogue. Let's get it started. Oh, that's a really good start. So, Envenom Weapon feels like it should be good, and we get to see it sometimes. But it's not worth taking in Arena, especially on the first pick. You can get value out of it, especially if it's with some poopy cards. But we're going to start with a Stonehill Defender, and we're going to like it. We're going to start with a card that discovers something outside of the game. Going to increase dramatically our value, especially if the second pick is going to be between these guys. Wow, I don't like any of these guys. I'm tempted to take the Dragonhawk because I really hate sitting on Mastodons. Mastodon can be good, but you're sitting so often on these giant taunts that are supposed to stave off the opponent and it just gets you killed. But if that's our only one, it's okay. Assassinate's a no-brainer. Argent Commander used to be one of the top tier minions you could get around 6 mana in Arena because of its trade value, but they've actually released so many Rush minions because of how excited they were about Rush that this guy's value has actually gone down. Whereas Shadowblade is my favorite rogue weapon. So let's take this. We're gonna need some minions soon, so keep your eyes out for more plated beetles. We don't want to pass those guys up. Hench Clan Thug actually just gets exponentially better. So he's just a 3 for a 3/3, which is solid. There's a lot of 3 for 3/3s, like the other one that's really good is the heal, that just heals somebody for 3. I like the idea of Wanted, but I don't think that damage ratio is very good. I wish this card was 3 mana. I think this card should be 3 mana. If you're going for the coin, you're going for like a combo, some sort of early game shenanigans. So I would drop this card down to 3. If I were in charge, I would definitely put that down. I did check on my application today for Game Director, just so you know. They haven't looked at it yet. Or at least they haven't marked that they looked at it yet. It could have already gone into the no pile, but I'm not giving up hope until it says the big red X on there. So we are still living the dream that we might they might hire us as game director. Sudden Betrayal is probably the worst. No, okay, it's the second worst of the 3 rogue secrets. The one that returns it to your hand is actually playable. This one is borderline unplayable. If it's your only secret and you've got some synergy, it might be worth it. But we're going to take the sprint and see if we can make it work. Yeah, I get whenever there's a bad day with my boss or something crazy happens or there's no end in sight for the crummy stuff going on at work, I'll just throw in my application for my dream job. Every once in a while, I'll go on Wizard's website, see if there's a job for Dungeons and Dragons out there, or working for Magic the Gathering. And then I heard our boy Ben Brody was quitting, and his job was available. So I figured, who better to replace Ben Brody as game director for Hearthstone than yours truly, Brennan Silver, right? Replace that BB with some BS. Alright, so speaking of BS, these picks are really tough. Meatwagon, I love the idea of this card. This is one of those few cards that has so much fun when you can work it out. I like that they put this card in the game. In this deck, I don't think we're going to get any value out of it. I don't even want a 0 attack minion unless it's like an egg. But even then, this guy to pull out an egg is worthless. Blade Fury can be good, but for 4 mana, do you guys remember that used to be 2 mana? That was good times. I think he actually is going to either start his own smaller company or is trying to develop a different game. I think he's just it seems like he's just kind of done with being in front of the camera having to represent Blizzard and Hearthstone that much. I think he'd rather do something he's a little bit more passionate about, is what it seemed like to me. But he was a cool dude. I liked him. So the Spellstone can be super good. We've already got Assassinate, which is better in most ways because you get to pick. There's maybe like a 1 in 5, 1 in 8 situations where the Spellstone is better. If you can upgrade it, it's obviously better because you get an extra minion. I've never upgraded this guy before using it. We only have one Death Rattle. We're not going to hold on to this to hope it comes after our Abomination. Yeah, I think WoW needs a replacement too, Wet Farts, but I just don't think we're in the era anymore of people paying monthly for MMOs, which means the gameplay of the MMO has to be so different. I mean, it has to evolve quicker, even though WoW did get to the point where every raid was coming out pretty quick and totally annihilating the gear that was uh, applicable before that. That's part of the reason I quit WoW, is because I was actually staying up there a lot for raids, and then when the new raid came out, it was just sad. It was impossible to even wear any of the same gear that week. So I don't know what they're going to do with MMOs, but yeah, it would be nice to have an MMO that hit the same. I mean, it's not going to hit the same as WoW. It's just not possible. But something that got close, right? Right now, there's WoW at its peak here, and then for me, EverQuest was right here. I loved EverQuest, but I think for the general population, the next MMO is way down here for under WoW. So I don't know if we'll get there again. Maybe with 3D or a different iteration of WoW. They did miss, I think, some big opportunities to cross into multiple platforms. I remember when we were playing WoW, and my wife wanted to do the fishing stuff, and she was just like, "Why can't I fish on my phone when I'm not playing WoW?" Wouldn't that have just been awesome if WoW had expanded into the mobile platform? I think they missed a huge opportunity to stay on top a little longer there. All right, let's get back to our picks. We're on our ninth pick. Sorry for you guys tuning in later on YouTube, but thanks for watching. Um, so we're not going to do the Spellstone. Betrayal can get us a lot of opportunity, but our curve is terrible here. It's a three-toed sloth. So let's just get some minions here. Murlocs are never bad. We always want one silence, which in Rogue we accept sap as a silence, and one poison in our deck. This is my favorite rogue poison. Actually, I lied. This is my second favorite rogue poison. The first one isn't a poison itself, it's the combo poison, because that's basically a rush that you can use with it. Yeah, you're probably right that Vanilla WoW could probably run on mobile. I remember when I got my first smartphone, um, and I was reading all that it had. It's, computing power and its RAM, and it was better than the computer I initially played EverQuest 1 on. So technically, yeah, this is, especially now, this iPhone, whatever this is, 6 Plus, 6 minus S, could definitely run EverQuest on it. I would probably need, a little bit of a graphics card, but yeah. Especially, I don't know if you ever saw the original EverQuest. It was worse than Minecraft, the graphics. Your guy had block arms, and they never changed. They were locked at 90 degrees the entire time. And your guys kind of had, I don't know, 3 or 4 movements, but it was a lot like a regular Nintendo, where, what is that, 8-bit, where your guy had 2 moves, right? He was either walking like this or like this with his legs together. So it was either like, doop, 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 and that was it. It was basically just like that. So this is my second favorite poison for Rogue. Probably my fourth favorite poison for overall arena when you're looking at Rogue. I love the Wasp better, I like the Basilisk better, and I like the Battle Cry better. So I'm thinking about taking the Lone Champion because we don't have that great of a minion base yet. I think we're going to take the Lone Champion and hope we get a better poison later. All right. I will tell you that if they at least interview me for game designer, I will tell them, please, for the love of everything Arena Holy, make it so that when we're looking down here, we can edit what we're looking at a little bit. Okay, a radio button to separate out spells and minions and maybe weapons. I don't know. Maybe to look at battle cry curve a little bit or combo, because this curve doesn't really tell us anything. That said, we do not have any force. It's telling us we don't have any cards that cast on force. So maybe we at least look at that. Do we have any card draw yet? We do have sprint. We're invested heavily into the late game right now. Though we have some good minions early on, the Thug is going to get us some insane value. I'm telling you, the Thug is going to win me a game. I'm telling you that right now. So if the Thug's going to win us a game, who's going to win us another one? Let's do the Hoarding Dragon. Oh, there we go. There's another 4-drop. We like that. So Shadowstep, like I said, I've been doing a lot of tests. So I'm thinking, when I see Shadowstep, I'm thinking I might be inflating the value of it a little bit because I love that in the monster hunt. I don't think we need the spell damage, though having another 2-drop would be nice. We kind of end up with dragon eggs a lot, and they're not always bad for us. I'm thinking it's probably worst in rogue, except we got a valor. What was it? A buff for him the other day, a Valkyrie. Is that what the +1/+1 2-drop is? So that helped us crack our egg the other day. We could get a cold blood. I think Shadowstep just gives us way more options and way more value. That on a defender or even on a fire plume, and we're gonna get an SI agent. I'm telling you now, we've got 16 picks left. Let's go for the SI agent. Bone Drake's a no-brainer out of those ones. I like to have this guy a lot, the blade. But we already have my first favorite rogue weapon, and rogue is gonna be the class that gets you the most value as far as discovering. We can get a pickpocket hopefully. We've already got a blink fox, and you can't draft DKs anymore. If you haven't heard that news yet, they've removed DKs from the draft, so you're not gonna see a DK in this little box of 3 cards here. In these guys, hopefully they put them back in later when the sets. When the card pool is bigger, more inflated. I hope we see them again. Personally, I know that they're really overpowered, especially some of them in Arena just win you the game. I mean, it's almost impossible to keep up with the DK and the Mage one in Arena, and some of them really suck in Arena, like the Warrior one, losing the armor for the Whirlwind can be actually really bad in Arena. Not always. I mean, it's going to have some sort of synergy at some point, but if you're getting your DK last and you didn't know it was coming and you're passing up on some good armor cards, then you might regret it. So maybe, I don't know. I still think so they need to at some point do a lot of changes to Arena. But like I said, I applied for game designer at Hearthstone, so if it becomes a popular opinion vote, I will be knocking on all of your door. How about that? All right. So I've already received feedback before that it takes me way too long to draft cards, and we're 20 minutes in. We're at about a minute a card, so I gotta speed this up a little bit. Sorry about that. We already have a Shadowstep, but I think it is definitely worth having a second Shadowstep over any amount of Footman. So we're definitely passing it up for that. I'm thinking, do we want another 5-drop Taunt? Fen Creeper I like more than our Abomination, but we've got an Abomination. We don't get to trade it in here. I think we do another Shadowstep and see if we can get some Trixies here. We'll take the 2-drop. So the Auctioneer with all our Shadowsteps could get us some really good value. What's up, Floating Fish? Thanks for tuning in. Deck building with Enrage in hopes you get Warrior DK is a chance I don't want to take. Yeah, there's actually a lot of good Rush minions though, and some of them have Enrage. Or the next set, I'm betting will have another 1 or 2 Warrior Rush minions that benefit from taking damage. Might even be one like I would like to see one kind of like the Armor Smith, maybe a 2/4 rush for 3 mana that gains armor every time it deals damage. So if you're building those kind of decks, I think they need to add the DKs back into the arena. But since we're down to 4 sets, and they had to remove Baku and the even guy because you just can't have at the starting of your game effects come up later. That's definitely going to trigger people if they see Baku as their 30th card. It's just ridiculous. And they took the quests out, never put those in arena. So having all 3 sets, their legendary identifiers not being in the arena, really puts the arena in a weird place, right? It's I like it better now, actually. I think the card pool is more fair. It does lead for having a higher ceiling with insane decks like those mage decks we saw with gosh, how many have we seen with 3 meteors? It's just crazy. So I think that mage and paladin have the highest ceiling. But overall, the bell curve is much more in the middle with all these basic cards showing up. So I like where the arena's at right now, but I hope the next set takes those things into consideration. It's not likely, but I did just check on my application for game designer, still known or for game director for Hearthstone. So no news yet, but if it happens, you will see some changes in the arena. All right, let's get back to these picks. I like the idea of the auctioneer if we get a spider maker, right? We've already got hallucinate, shadow steps. We could get some weird, crazy combos off of this. If we see a prep and like an eviscerate, then we could go kind of nuts with the auctioneer. It doesn't get us anywhere if we don't have anything that really plays into it though, like even a questing, what's those guys called? Questing adventurers, adventuring quester. That would at least give us something. So I think we have to pass on it. And I'm thinking about taking the 1-drop. We've got the synergy up here. I don't really mind giving my opponent a mana crystal anymore. That actually used to be worse in just basic and a couple sets before, but the value you get is actually a lot more in the middle of the game. So I'm not too afraid of giving my opponent a mana crystal, but I think we take the 1-drop. I might be crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think? This guy can get insane value. We haven't even seen a Wind Fury card yet. We don't have Divine Shield yet. I mean, we might get one from Lone Champion, but nothing says Divine Shield. So this guy would just be taunt. Oh, we just got our lifesteal synergy. That might be worth it. I don't know though. This guy is a guaranteed lifesteal, and okay, here's our win condition. Ready? Life Drinker and 2 Shadow Steps. Look at that. 9 health stolen for only 8 mana. We could do all that in 1 turn. Let's do it. I like the idea of having a Sea Giant. Bummed I had to take this Mastodon. This is my favorite taunt from the new set for Arena though, so we're gonna take this, get some value at the 3-drop there. I'm telling you, I've been playing too much Test because that Sinister Strike looked tempting for a second there. Man. Which one used to have charge? What are you talking about? Used to have charge. Did I miss something? We have a lot of 3-drops. I think we just take another 6-drop. We're not going to get value out of it with our weapon. Vanish is a great card. One of the best, coolest cards for Rogue. It doesn't always work out in Arena. I think with our deck, we do want it though, because if we start losing the early game, we could Vanish and get some board control. Having it gives us more options than not having it most of the time. So we're going to take that. Let's take another Blink Fox. Let's get a DK. 3 Blink Foxes. I wonder if that's better than the Petal for combo. Last night we had a Vile Spine and we had the Minstrel. So I'm hoping to get one of those or an SI agent. So maybe having the Petal is worth that, but I don't think so. Do we have enough fatties? I think this is a kind of a godsend here. I like Shallow Gravedigger as far as, hey, it gives you that value outside of game, but the Death Rattle tag is actually very often less valuable than the other ones. So Dragon Egg, Dragon's more valuable than Death Rattle. You can get some really stinker Death Rattles there. So let's get a fatty. Let's get the poison that I wanted. We passed that up earlier. This guy does draw us a card. Is Shadow Blade our only weapon? Did we have to pass up on the rest of them? I think I'd rather have 2 Shadow Blades. That's really good. A second Assassinate, easy peasy. Do we have any Murlocs? We do have some. Still can't be worth it. What's our 2-drops look like? Uh-oh. Look at our curve, guys. That's a nice... That's a... Did Arcane Golem have charge? I don't think it ever had charge. Not that I... Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. You're talking about the 3-4. Yep, it used to have charge. So it was really good. That's one of those things they should go back and fix their mistake and make it a rush minion. Okay, so we probably want the Glacial Shard. Thinking we might want a solid 2-3 though, because we only have those 2. We don't care about the spell damage. Nobody ever does with that guy. Let's take... Oh! So yesterday we got the Black Knight. We took it over Sonya. And there were... I think it was 1 out of the 4 times we had the Black Knight that we wished we had Sonya. So that's still an option. I don't think we want Malygos at all. We don't care about Malygos. We don't even have a backstab for the value. If this were Ysera, yeah, that wouldn't even be a choice. We don't have a rush. We do have 1 lifesteal. Yeah, we take the Sonya. Let's get some value out of here. All right. Let's edit our title since we picked it. Fresh Sonya Rogue Arena. There we go. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a combo there. I'm hoping more to get something like our Echo back, right? That's a better combo because the Echo, then we can re-trigger it. Or the Wasp, right? Those are kind of the 2 that get us the most value. Other than a Bone Drake would be nice. Thrash it on. Like there's definitely some really good value in our deck. So what are we missing? We're missing a silence. We have no silence at all. It'll be a huge pain in the ass for us to get through a Steed, right? We're gonna have to use like both of our Shadow Blades, or at least we have 2 Assassinates. That's good. I would have preferred 1 Assassinate and 1 Vile Spine, or I would even trade one of these Assassinates right now for a Sap. Not gonna lie. It's just when it dies ever, so it's not like a secret where it's limited to your turn. So it could happen on their turn, which is why she could be really good behind some taunts if we're sitting behind a lone champion or a phantom militia. But she is only a 2/2, so yeah, she could be hiding behind some taunts, but there's no guarantee we'll get the value out of there, especially with having some of our other taunts an abomination. That's not a very good minion to hide behind here. But that's okay. We will turn this deck into some wins. I'm thinking with luck on our side, with Sonya and Lady Luck, I'm aiming for 6 wins.